Hello everyone, welcome to my 8th Python course. In this video, we are going to be working with for loops in Python. So let's begin. To begin with for loops, let me first explain the syntax first. We have a syntax to be for variable in sequence, then colon, four spaces, do this. Now, let's put this into Python code. Now, we can see that for I in we have something called range function in Python. That is what we are going to be using our sequence. We have the range to be, let's see that 5, then we can print I like this. Now let me explain this. The syntax of range is we have begin, end, -1, then step like this. Now for each number in this range, they are equal to I. That is how it works. So if we print I, we are going to get 0 to 4 like this. Now let's run this Python code. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is working perfectly. Now we can see that for k in range 1 to, let's see that 1 to 6, print k. Now we have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These actually begin with 1 because, as I have said, this is begin, end, -1. But these two options, they are optional. You can either add them or not add them, depends on the program you are writing. So we have for k in range 1 to 6, print k. So this begins with 1, then 5, 1 to 5, which is 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. Now looking at this code, this actually begins with 0. So if we are using only one number here, you pass in the one argument here. So this is going to start from 0 all the way up to 4. That is 5 minus 1. So let me explain the steps. We have, let's say that for j in range 1 to 10 and 1, print j. Now, firstly, I don't want these two codes to run. So what I can do is that we have a keyword in Python, which is a pass keyword. So we can add pass here. Let us put pass here, like this, pass. So comment this. Now, this is how it works. So this is not going to print anything as we've put pass here. This just means pass this for loop. That is how it works. Now let me comment this also and put pass here like this. Now let's run this. Now we have the outputs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way up to 9. This doesn't change anything because the steps is actually 1. So if I should print 2 here, if I should put 2 here, we are going to get this is going to skip two steps. We are going to get 1, 3, 4 all the way up to, I think 9 should be there. So we have this 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this actually skip two numbers. So skips this. Now if I should put 3 here, we are going to get 1, 4, 7. It means it skips 33 digit numbers. 33 numbers. Sorry about that. Now that is how it works. Oh, we cannot only use range in for loop. As I have said, I said sequence. So we can set a variable to be we can use a variable here also, which is this range. We can, let me set this range to be R like this. So I can see that R is equal to range of 1 to 7 like this. So we can see that for K in range, print K, but I have passed this, so I don't want it to run. So let me pass this also. So this is it, pass. Now let's continue. So we can see that greeting is equal to hello world like this. Print greeting. Now we have the output as hello world, but I want to use for loop to print this greeting. So we can see that for each letter in greeting, print letter. Now remember, this can be anything. It's just the same thing as variable. You can either use L and print L here. You can also use underscore, then print underscore here. Now let's run this. We have hello world with the white space also. So for loop doesn't filter anything. It gives you exactly what you input as your sequence as your output. Now let's use letter here. For letter in greeting, print letter. Now let's do this. We have hello world, which is the same thing. Now let us try and write a program to count each vowel letter in a certain string. But before we write a program, we are going to be explaining I'm going to be explaining increments and decrement in Python. If you watch my working with numbers in Python, I actually did something like this. We said x is equals to 1, x is equals to x plus 1, print x. Let me comment this. I'm just commenting them because they take a lot of space, so I want what I'm doing to be printing as the first thing. So we have 2 as our output. So what this does is that we have x is equals to 1, new x to be equals to this x, 1 plus 1, which is equal to print x, which is equal to 2. And that is how it works. Let me comment this to be increment, and let me say that y is equal to 1, y is equal to y minus 1, print y. So this is a decrement. Now print y. So we have this to be 0 because this is 1, and we assign a new y to be equals to 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. Now let's try and write a program. Let me create a new Python file. Let's call this increment. Now we want to write a program to filter to count how many vowel letters in a certain string. So this is the increment Python file. So we can create a variable which is a string to be equals to this is Python course. This is Python course. So create a new variable to be equals to vowel because we want to write a program to count each vowel inside a string. So vowel is A, E, I, O, U. I want it to be in order. So we can loop through the string. We can see that for S in string, right? For each s in string, I want to do something. So we can use a conditional statement if s in vowel, that is, if else s is in this vowel. Now we want to do something. So this is 4 spaces. Now this will be 8 spaces. So we can create a variable to be count is equal to 0 to count each vowel inside this string. So we're going to set count is equals to 0 because we don't know, maybe there is a vowel inside the string. So Python is going to do that for us automatically. So we can see that count is equal to count plus 1. Now we've solved the problem. So inside this program, we can see that print count. Now if we print count, count is inside for loop. So we are going to get 1 to something because, okay, let us count that manually. We have 1, we have I here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 vowels here. So we are going to get 1 to 6 as our output. So let's run this program. We have 1 to 6. Now let me explain this. We have count to be equal to 0. This means that count, new count, is equal to this count plus 1. Then print count. So if this is 0 already, count, new count is equals to count plus 1, 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. Now this count is now equal to 1. Then we set a new count again, which is equal to this 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. Now this count is equal to 2. Then a new count again, which is this new count. Then this is 2 already. Then 2 plus 1, we are going to get 3 all the way up to this 6. So that is how increment works in Python. So let me print ordinary 6 because count is already 6. So we print this count here, which is equal to 6. I'm going to be using decrement in while loop, which is our next Python course. We are going to be working with while loop in Python. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. There are multiple for loops. We are going to be doing them in future course.